Yes, peace and love, my beautiful brothers and sisters across the world, across the globe. How you doing, our Nubian family? Hope you're alright. It's been a very, very rough last few weeks for us. But we're here to uplift you and to share information and knowledge and just give you some viewpoints. Uh, Before I go on, I'd like to apologise for the last video I uploaded because there was a delay in the video and I put some comments uh, in that video about apologies for the slight delay and some distortion going on within the video, so I do apologize about that. I'm here to speak about some of the after effects and aftermaths of the march of the riots that took place in Minnesota because of the death of George Floyd, as we all know, which took place 2 weeks ago to the day as well, the 25th. It was Monday the 25th of May, and which was a bank holiday over here in the UK, and today's the 8th. Today's the 8th of June 2020, and so we ask you to keep fighting, to keep marching, because you know, as a people, our nature is always crystal clean. We always give love to other people, and people take this love and take this good energy from us, and they use it against us to bash us. And as you've seen over the last, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years, well, ever since the so-called abolition of slavery, they've lynched us, they've murdered us, they've killed us, they've tortured us, you see. And the George Floyd incident took place, the George Floyd murder, brutal, cold-blooded daylight murder, was really the final straw. And I'm hearing a lot of people say that what we need to do, we can't just lie down and let this go. We can't just be marching, we can't just be writing, we can't just be protesting, we can't just be campaigning and leave it at that. We've got to keep the pressure on, because they've got their feet on our necks. You know, like Malcolm X said, they've got our feet on our necks, and they're not going to let that feet go. They're going to keep it there. They're going to keep it there. And so we've got to do the same. You know, we've got to keep fighting. We've got to ensure that there's a change. I said all along that, and I always analyze things before I speak. Excuse me. I think the only change is going to come from us. As a community, we've got to organize ourselves. We're going to break away from their system, build our own system. Marcus Garvey's teaching us about the economy over 100 years ago, that we must have our own economy. We must spend our monies within the black community, with our own people, and hence came back Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the 1910s and the early 1920s. And you saw what happened. For those of you who are historical, you saw what happened with that after rumor started. With one of these racist riots said that a young black man or a young black boy had wrestled a white woman, and all hell broke loose after that. And so our Black Wall Street was demolished and was destroyed, and we've never really been back to that level ever since, and that was over nearly 100 years ago. And so in this day, in 2020, we've got to do something similar. We've got to build our own economy. Tomorrow is the Blackout Tuesday. Like last week Tuesday was a Blackout Tuesday. Today is a blackout. Tomorrow is a Blackout Tuesday, where black people around the world are not going to spend any money of the corporates. So all of the mainstream shops, all of the white businesses, all of the mainstream businesses, we're going to be refrained from spending money with you and with them, and we're going to be spending money with our own people. Wherever there's a black business in your area, please support it. Support it anyway and any day, not just because it's Blackout Tuesday tomorrow, or other Tuesdays in advance. We're saying to you this day to spend your money as always with black people, and try to build our own economy and try to lift one another up. And don't, because we go to a black business and it's some of the products cost a lot of money, it doesn't mean to say that you should turn your backs and not spend with them and go and spend with the corporates because they're cheaper. Even if it's a few pounds extra, your own people are charging you for various products and various services. Spend with them, because you can see the situation it is now, and it's been like this for a very long time. But what happened 2 weeks ago was really, as some will say, it was really the final nail in the coffin, and was a straw what brought the camel's back. And so we have to keep on spending with our own people. Tomorrow I want to go and do a YouTube live video tomorrow. I don't know, because I've got to set my laptop up. and I've got to do some things. I've not used my laptop for a few weeks, so quite possibly look out for me tomorrow in the afternoon when I'm going to be doing a YouTube live video. Quite possibly. If not, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm trying to sort my laptop up. Oh, it's over there. I'm gonna have to try and sort it out because there's some bugs in it, and I'm gonna try and clear the bugs. So now I'm using my Android, and so here I am speaking to you because it has to be done every day. We're going to keep up the pressure. We're going to keep uplifting one another. We're going to keep talking. We're going to keep speaking. And before I forget, you can join me on Instagram, Chrissy, all one word, all lowercase letters. Chrissy Emotep 444 is in the number. Don't miss me on Instagram. Also on Facebook, it's Chrissy B. Bailey. You can't miss me. There's a great picture of the great Emotep there. The high priest of chematology. He's my profile picture on Facebook, Chrissy B. Bailey, and on Instagram it used to be a picture of me, but I've taken it down the last couple of days, and I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to restore it in the next few days or maybe a couple of weeks time. But for the time, because of the climate we're in right now, because of the situation we're in right now, I've actually taken my profile picture off of Instagram and just put a picture of a black dot in solidarity with my brothers and sisters around the world for Blackout Tuesday. And so, as I was saying to you before, policies have to be put in place. I even said a few weeks ago that the police have to be retrained, because I saw somewhere in another platform on YouTube that it is really ordained for the police to really hassle a lot of black and a lot of brown people. It's ordained for them to go after black people and kill them and hurt them, just like it is in the Hispanics. They don't get it as much because they're more united as a community. But it's protocol for them to actually, and I was hearing that it's actually protocol for them. They were trained and told and taught to kill blacks. Yeah. Any slightest thing goes on with blacks, any slightest form of, any slightest form of resistance from the black person, they'll get killed. And that's how the police operate in America. I'm not sure about various parts of the world. I know in Jamaica it's very brutal out there, but Jamaica is more or less a black African society with, of course, other ethnic minorities make up Jamaica, like the Syrians, the Chinese, the Indians, and some, indigenous peoples like the Tainos. There's only a few hundred of them left on the island, but the majority of the people on the island of Jamaica, where my parents and my family come from, are black Africans. And so the police in Jamaica are very brutal. You could almost as good as say that there's martial law being practiced in Jamaica, and it's been like that for many years, because the police and for society out there has always been at loggerheads. They've always killed civilians. They've always killed, members of the public. Sometimes they just go and they just shoot like that. Famous musicians have been killed by police. One called General Echo in 1980. I think it was November of 1980. He was one of the biggest reggae DJs of the time, and he was going somewhere to get some money. I think going to the bank to get some money, and out of suspicion he got shot by the police, and he was innocent. And so this shoot and shot policy is the biggest in America. It's big in Jamaica, it's big in various parts of the Caribbean. It's not been brought over to England yet, even though they had the sus law over here in the 1970s, where a police, if they were suspicious of you, they could detain you, they could arrest you, and if you resisted, they could shoot you. But in those days, the shootouts between police officers and members of the public wasn't really a regular thing. And I do believe that some of the laws which have been implemented in America might come to England. But I do feel this is a change now. We're in a periphery of a change where the whole establishment has to be torn down and has to be started all over again. And the only way you're going to do this is by people power. And if we sit down and think together, think and come up with a great strategy, turn away from there. Because I don't think they can go back to being where they were before. Shooting black people like that and killing black people like that is a thing of the past. And we've seen the riots of the last few days now, maybe the last few days to a couple of weeks, ever since the murder of George Floyd. So something has to definitely give, and the thing that's going to give is if we come together, plan this thing out, refrain from their social from their justice system and from their policing systems, bring about our own policing. Because I do believe the black community can really carry this thing out. It could definitely be a thing, and a thing which is going to be the future for future generations to actually follow and to live by. Because their suppressive system isn't going to cater for us. So the only way we're going to be, if you look at the Jews, for example, the Jews police themselves. There's a big Jewish community for about 2 miles from here in Stamford Hill, and they police themselves. They go around at night time and watch their own communities. Because I used to be in that area because my grandfather had a house in the area, and the very Afro-Caribbean people came to England in the 50s, a part of the Windrush in the 50s and the 1960s. The Jews have always been very good to us, because the Jews are the ones who gave us accommodations when we came here in the 50s, and it's not me, but my grandparents, my parents, because they told me these things when I was growing up, that the Jews were the ones who offered them accommodation, because the English people hated them. They had posters to say no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. And so they were really, the doors were shut, slamming their faces. And so it was the Jews would really open up their doors to them and gave them rooms and so on, and flats and so on in the 50s and the 60s and certain parts of the 70s, until things started to become better when they started to campaign and march. The Afro-Caribbeans in Britain started to campaign and march for better housing, better jobs, equality, social justice, just like what we're fighting for here now with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, and some of the others, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, and there's a multitude of people who passed and died at the hands of either racists and also at the hands of racist police. And so these are the things we're going to keep fighting for, but we can't take our foot off the pedal. We're going to keep fighting, and because this happened 2 weeks ago, we're going to let go. We're going to keep on at it. We're going to keep on at it until this change. And if they don't make the change, which I don't think they will, because they're not being in right supremacy. They've been in right supremacy for 700, 800 years. So they're not just going to relinquish that and come off of that and give us our fair due. And they're also scared. I'm hearing a lot of talk that they're also scared that if we get in power, or get back into power, because we were in power before, then we're going to treat them like how they treated us. But it's not the black man's nature to do what they do. It's the devilish nature what they have. We haven't got that devilish nature. We're kind, loving people, and that's why they're taking advantage of us and have exploited us over these last several hundred years. We're not going to do that. If we get back in power, we'll be fair and square, and we'll do things ethically and to the T. So there's no need for them to be scared that we're gonna seek vengeance on them for what they've done to us through the enslavement of our ancestors, which over 200 million of our ancestors died during slavery and post-slavery. We're gonna play a clean game, as we always do, because it's our nature to play, because we're a people of God, we're a people of the Almighty, and so we'll carry that on if we get back into power again. But what we need is change for the immediate future. What we need is change, and we need to sort our economy out. We need to ensure that we have our own. I believe we have to have our own policing. We really do, because their policing wasn't there to protect and to guide us and to look after us. That's what the police system is there for, to protect all civilians and to look after all civilians. But their policing is only to protect their people, and to at the same time turn around and murder our people, you see, and to treat our people harshly. If they're not murder our people, they hurt our people. I've heard so many cases where of a lot of people, even some celebrities in the public eye, have said that once they've been in police custody, they've been beaten and been brutalized and been hurt and so on, and physically hurt. And so it's something which is there, and it's coming out to light now because of the George Floyd murder a couple of weeks ago. It's coming out to light now, and people are seeing the wood from the trees, and things which were really being covered up all these years are now being brought out to light. It's that Bob Marley's song, what happens in the darkness must come out to light, and we're seeing that right now. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, the Chrissy B Emotet. Click on the link, the red subscribe button. You'll see at the end of the video where you can click, and please do so. Please do subscribe, and please share all of our videos, like them, leave your comments, subscribe. I want to say thank you. We've had quite a lot of subscribers over the last week or so. We've had maybe the last week we've had about 10 subscribers, so I do thank you for that. That's about maybe what, 2 a day, roughly, 1 or 2 a day. We want more subscribers. We want to get to, as I said, and I'm being overly ambitious when I say I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers I'll be so thrilled of that. And so we pray that you can and we ask for you to share it and to do what you can, and we're going to get a lot stronger and a lot better. So brothers and sisters, I love you very much. You take care of yourselves. This was a short video to tell you to keep fighting for justice, to keep campaigning, to keep protesting, and to fight for what's rightly ours. Don't take your foot off the gas. I know we were angry 2 weeks ago. We're still angry now, but the anger is coming like easing off a bit, because they say time is a good healer. But there's that fire in our bellies is still burning, and we still want to go out there and let them know what's going on, and let them know that we're here. We're not going away. We're here, and we're going to fight until the bitter end. We're going to fight until we get what's ours. We're going to fight until justice prevails. So brothers and sisters, you take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out. Adios.